every corner of the Deadfire babbled, and Aothis marches on Ukaizo while I juggle armloads of enemies. This is no coincidence. If you have spent any time in the Deadfire at all, the myth of lost Ukaizo can be Akira. And with good reason. They say the beaches of Ukaizo spanned impossible horizons. At night, I even... for what do the tribes not fight each other? For what are we united if not to take back? Under Wodika's gaze do we keep order. Atop Nagati's seas are we tested. The gods want this for us, I say. We have come this far to... So, Watcher, do we unite and sail for Ukaizo? I hope we don't stand around wasting each... Busy yourself making up your mind. I will make preparations to...
So the crown granted your master an audience. How did it go?
Then he cuts me down with a word.
I get along fine with him. He's straightforward to me.
Are we talking about the same Uts?
It has been brought to my attention you've done a noble thing. They had long been a thorn in our side, but one we were hesitant to as am I. And Deadfire is a troubled place, beset by all adventure stories blame it on the fury of Helios. Historians would spin you a tale of isolation and trade. All of that merely obscures the plain yet hard truth. The Huana lack the will to defend the world is a hard place. Should we 2,000 years ago, our people began the conquest of Rawatai. The land was new to us, many of its inhabitants, but we overcame them. And we were not content to huddle in cliff caves and subsist. We were determined to make a better life for ourselves. The Valians and the Principe will tear Deadfire asunder, and the Huana. So we must do everything we can. We shall ensure that the slavers do not return by stationing one of our most elite fleets at Crooksburg. I'm glad you... In any case, the Hazanui is arranging a final matter. If you truly wish to... Clear skies.
Are you ready? Then you must kill Queen Onekaza II. I don't... And your countrymen back in Rawatai see their homes and crops washed away by storm. I know this isn't how you'd like to do things, but it comes down to this. This is the only way to forge a stable future for Rawatai or the Deadfire. And on my signal, the cannons of the Brass Citadel will fire, and our ships will bombard Queen's Berth. That should draw enough attention away from the and if I know the Queen, she'll wait out the danger on the... I advise caution and stealth. The Queen will send many of her soldiers to the harbor. My cannoneers are the very best. Your ship, then there's no time to lose. That's the signal. We'll maintain the distraction. If you need to rest, and meet me at the docks outside when you've finished. Rawatai needs a reprieve from the storms, and Deadfire needs order. Are you ready to do the rough country? We can't wait forever, and I know Aethys won't. If Ukaizo works the way we think it does, then leaving it for someone else. Talk and compromise may work for you, but we can't risk Rawatai on someone else's good intentions.
Excellent timing. We're getting consistent readings. That is, if you're up for it. Clinging to certainty is a novice's mistake. We keep open mind. It's just the same as great to work, and you just relax. Look for the next Adra healer. Once you have...
Steady does it. I've got it. That's not supposed to happen. Sure. Yeah. Keeping quiet. Let's go. Yeah. No good. Will do. On it. Will do. I've got it. Got it. Let's go. Yeah. Sure. Got it.
Madiko, I thought I was done. These monstrous brutes. Look at what they have done. They've destroyed all we have worked toward for a little coin. Without a doubt, the trading companies made this is a bold move, even for the... And look at our machines. We'll clean up here, see to the wounded.
Will do. On it.
You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to light. On every landing stands a door, each one stranger than the last. You hear the ringing of a small bell far above you. The torrent deposits you in front of an open door. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath you, shake the very air around you.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodika. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you. Wodika screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue.
Even the Kith loses patience with you, Wodika.
Andra says, amusement bubbling just beneath the surface of her words. The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am. The Watcher's returned. Perhaps we should hear what he has to say.
Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
They say, a wry smile
Not for lack of trying.
Feathers rise.
We try, but agreement eludes us.
Andra's.
Is there nothing we can do?
Helia. Mogren glances at the pallid knight from the corner of her eye.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched, and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
I did, and I was scolded like a child for my terrible audacity.
Should we be killed, we may possess the bodies of our godlike children. Or should we face a force too powerful to stand against, we can absorb their souls, granting us additional strength. Yes, thousands of their lives would be forfeit to serve the greater good.
The pallid knight speaks with the chilly temperance possessed only by the god of death.
We are your gods, forged of thousands upon thousands of willing souls sacrificed on the altar of progress. Yes, our good is greater. But the time for that plan has long passed.
Are we to keep nothing for ourselves? Not a single secret retained? Not a solitary mystery?
Wal demands. Their Mogren elbows one of Wal's floating eyes away.
Aethys will lay bare our every secret soon enough. What is one or two revealed now? But we get ahead of ourselves. First, the Watcher must get to Ukaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
Mogren says.
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside. Not
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
Mogren says. A pair of Helia's finches come to join.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if he wishes to confront Aethys.
Mogren says. The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform, and fly in a screeching chorus.
But you like a challenge, don't you? You met my challenge at the Searing Falls without hesitation, after all. And when Firga faltered, you restored her faith in me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth.
Helia.
It is not one of Gallowayne's mindless beasts. It has a heart, and Aethys will not fight the creature. It would prove little more than a distraction for him, especially as my tsunami and Mogren's volcano couldn't stop him.
Andra says.
There is another topic we have yet to address. Tell me, Watcher, what do you think of Aethys' scheme to destroy the wheel?
The pallid knight asks. The pallid knight spreads wide her hands.
Think of the beyond as a reservoir, the in-between as storm clouds, and souls as rain. When a living thing dies, its soul enters the in-between. And when the in-between grows full, it releases souls into the beyond, where they wait to be redistributed to new bodies, new lives. The wheel is the process by which souls are moved from the in-between to the beyond, from the rain cloud to the Without the wheel to mediate the transfer and redistribution of souls, the souls of all who die remain in the in-between. And without souls to fill it, the beyond gradually... When the beyond is empty and the last creature on Aora dies, that is the end of everything. It is Rimergon's future, the one he wants for us. Soul essence sustains us. We feed off it, off the little fragments you mortal kith shed like snakes. Without sustenance, we starve as any mortal might. We die and leave a great silence behind, an eternal emptiness from which nothing is born. You see then that we cannot help but argue. The fate of life hangs in the balance. And
tell us, Watcher, where do you stand? Finally, someone with a proper...
Aethys loves the mortals more than any of us. He believes Kith will rise to his challenge. I am not so sure, but I look forward to watching them try. He found our blind spot and exploited it admirably.
If we still had our bodies, we could oppose him.
Wodica balls her bony...
Do not lay your blame on me. We set them aside after I killed Abaddon, it is true, but you did not fight the decision then.
Andra says. She turns her back on...
What if Aethys is right, and Kith succeed in rebuilding the wheel? What then?
Andra asks.
Such hubris. Kith will make a mess of things. You cannot help yourselves. You must...
And what if they fail? Then they die. And so do we have to help them.
Wodica drives her fist into her hand.
Help them? We should finally bring them to heel.
The Pallid Knight raises a hand.
Watcher, Aethys yet values your counsel.
The Pallid Knight's eyes bore into yours.
An impassioned plea from the Hound of Aethys may still temper his actions. Confront him at Ukaizo. Time moves swiftly. Go, Watcher. Do what you must.
The edges of your vision begin.
You will not fail.
The Pallid Knight conjures a blinding white light. You come to flat on your back, staring at an all...
I've been loyal to you a long time, Ferrante, but I cannot abide this.
Over here, my friend.
Diverus, is it settled now? I do not like having my hand...
Indeed, the vote has been cast. There can be no dispute. The trade...
Your vote of confidence is appreciated, my Consuelo. Rest assured, you have made...
The Black Pox siege we have? What a fucking farce! Mark my words, Councilman. Your souls will be damned for this scheme.
Do not forget your promise, Ferrante. With Eldis out of the way, you will sail us to Ukaizo, well before the Huana.
The god will lead us there, and the floating hangman will navigate the storms. Watcher, your timing is... We have just concluded a vote of
Blast this! You can outvote me, but you can't make me stay and watch.
One of our Consuelo members, Captain Aldis, has been charged and found guilty of the defiance. On several past occasions, Aldis has willfully dismissed the mandates of the Oh, there is more. Negligence. Too often, Aldis has outright neglected her responsibilities to the Consuelo. When a meeting is called, the presence of all members is required. Excessive cruelty. Aldis and her new bloods often commit extreme violence in pursuit of financial gain. This drives our foes to take harsher measures against us. Sedition, which you witnessed firsthand when Aldis negotiated with our enemies without the consent of the Consuelo. She has single-handedly endeavored to spark a civil war within the Principe on multiple occasions. And what betrayal. Aldis sacrificed an entire crew of Principe. This Consuelo session is now What happened at Magran's teeth changes everything. We must acquire the floating hangman if we've any hope to somehow. Aldis has uncovered a means to summon the floating hangman, but she is hunkered within her. Myself and the others of the Consuelo must lay siege to get to her. I need what she knows before I can hang her. Obtain it for me, and I will grant you her seat on the Consuelo. Sail to Fort Deadlight.
Are you ready to meet? Right this way,
Ah, Captain. Beholding you never ceases to be... You wanted to speak with me? Well, consider me a captive audience. How fucking Though I should hardly be surprised after all you've told me. There's only one way to take the floating hangman. Him or me. He thinks now, does he? Guess it was only a matter of time. I knew the spies I strung up by their guts couldn't have been the only ones. They were just the poor squabs who got caught. Oh, aye. For casting me under in a farce of a trial. Ferrante covets the floating hangman in order to enforce his control of the Principe, not to protect us from our outside enemies. Nor to beat your rampaging god to Uka. But I'm 2 leagues ahead of Ferrante. I know how to summon and command. Of course, I destroyed the information as soon as I uncovered Ferrante's spies. You'll never learn it without me. I'm happy to work with you, Lovesome. I've been after a but if we're to help each other, there is one thing I want from you in return for the floating hangman. That cockrot Ferrante needs. I'll sail to Dunwich and take command of the...
I've got it.
Did you meet with Aldi? You know what I'm hoping for. To me? And you came to tell me, to my face, that you will now be backing my political...
Let's go!
Yeah!
Yeah! Take him! Got it. Sure. Got it.
Are you ready? Right this...
I would have liked to see Ferrante hanging, myself. For your loyalty, I'd like you to have Scoradeo's Edge. It's been a good sword to me. I know you'll put it to good use. Hopefully by... I'll be taking command of the Principe now. Calling a meeting of the council. Sail with me to Dunwich, Lovesome. I'd like to have you at my side when I bloody the... Arriving with the full protection of my fleet is the...